Harvey, welcome to the set, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me,
Harvey
guys.
Unga, everybody.
Yeah. Need we remind you, the all-time leading rusher in BYU football history.
When Jamal
for
Williams
now,
goes
Not for long.
Jamal
Not for
Williams
long.
thinking about breaking Harvey's record. That's top of mind. Yeah.
what's your bold, we'll talk about Jamal in a second. What's your bold prediction for this BYU football team in Austin, Texas?
I'm going to say 35-14.
35-14.
21-point win.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are you that confident in this BYU team?
Well, first off, I had found out that they lost both their tackles
Yes. Yep.
and their center.
And their quarterback.
And their quarterback now. So between their O-line themselves, I think they have, 5 games under their belt as a collective unit?
Yes.
So, I mean, they're going to have a heyday with Bronson, Remington. The defense, I think, is going to be stout. And, of course, I don't want to disrespect Texas football, so I give them the 14. But I think our defense is awesome, And so I think coming into this, like I said, those boys, I mean, obviously Texas is going to be tough. They're going to play tough. But our defense has always been so stout. So I think they're going to hold their own, get us a couple turnovers, and then Taysom and the offensive crew are going to go do their thing. So
Isn't it weird how much we're brimming with confidence going to play at Texas right now, and like they're on their heels? It just feels odd.
it is. It's different. I mean, and still, it's sad that people still have us as the underdogs. But once they go in there, make their statement, I think then it'll establish them a little bit more, give them more credibility, and hopefully it just carries on into the whole season.
You have a point there. I think that anybody that is familiar with college football or follows it and is passionate about it is probably calling it an even playing field. I mean, BYU technically is a 2-point favorite, but if you're a casual fan and you just see BYU at Texas on
You
on
may
paper,
have noticed what happened last year and just that this year's game has all this hype. Texas got so scarred from the way the game was played last year. It wasn't just the BYU won, it's the way they played.
Oh, yeah. So in Chicago, I had a teammate, Henry Melton, just one of the top players to come out of Texas, diehard Texas football guy, just spouting off all the time, every single day at practice, letting everybody know I played, Longhorn football. And that week coming up to play BYU, he was just spouting in my ear, BYU sucks, these guys are going to get murdered, you guys have no idea what you're getting into, and we routed them. So then I go back the next day, I see him in our team meeting, and he looks at me, he's like, don't even talk to me. So I was like, hey, man, you're the one talking all this. So he's like, I can't believe how bad of a performance Texas had and how amazing that quarterback just, killed us. And I was like, well, I mean,
We are
man,
BYU, baby.
Don't underestimate BYU. We come to play.
BYU's all-time leading rusher Harvey Unga on BYU Sports Nation live from the BYU store. You talked about the injuries that Texas is now suffering from. You're a running back. Everyone in Texas is kind of putting it on Malcolm Brown and Jonathan Gray, these 2 5-star recruits out of high school. Like, hey, we still have running backs. We're still going to be able to run against BYU. It's going to be okay. How do they feel as running backs knowing that their starting center for 3 years and their 2 starting tackles are out?
I'm sure that, they're definitely worried, to say the least. I think any running back knows that front line that's what makes you who you are. And if any running back says otherwise, then he's crazy. So for them going into this game with new guys, I just really hope he's boosting their confidence. He's letting them know every single day that they can do this and whatnot. Because if not, it's like I said, it's going to be a heyday for that D-line. And it's going to be rough on those running backs. But at the same time, you never know. Football is a crazy game. Things happen that you'd never expect. I'm sure they didn't think Taysom was going to rush for 1 million yards on them last year. So, hopefully, our defense just sticks to what we know best and do best and kind of rattle the young guys a little bit.
And it helps to get Marcus Johnson back, starting nose tackle. It helps to get Robertson, Daniel, and Jordan Johnson back for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you for a minute. You worked out with the Panthers earlier this summer. We were hoping you'd get on a squad somewhere. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars called. Will you kind of walk us through the experience of just getting to that tryout?
Ah, geez. I don't want to relive this again. So going from Salt Lake City to Denver, I was trying to catch a connecting flight to Jacksonville. While I'm in the air, there's a thunderstorm in Denver. We get circled around Denver for about an hour or so. So from there, they land us in Colorado Springs, sit in Colorado Springs on the runway because there's a lightning storm that hits as we land. So we're sitting in an airplane for another hour and 15 minutes on the runway. I missed my connecting flight from Denver to Jacksonville, so I get back to Denver and sit there till 12:30 in the morning, catch the red eye all the way to Miami, get in Miami about 6 in the morning, Miami fly to Jacksonville, get into Jacksonville, and as soon as I land in Jacksonville, I go straight from the airport to the tryout.
Good grief.
A tryout at like 8 or 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
You're trying to make an NFL team after that.
It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, but my prayers were answered, and the good Lord let me, stay out there, and I hung on for a little bit in Jacksonville and had fun, had a blast. But unfortunately, it didn't end how I wanted it to. But
what did they say to you at the end of your short stint there in Jacksonville?
It was interesting. It was one of the weirdest exit interviews I've ever had. The GM.
But, okay, we're you and you were them. Go.
So, Harvey, we appreciate what you've done.
Yeah, I've been great. I know. I've been amazing.
You've showcased that you can catch the ball, you can run the ball, you can block.
Coach, I'm aware I can do all those things well.
And it's great. You have all the skills, assets to play in the league. However, we have our running backs at this time, and we didn't realize that you played running back as well. So that was different on our part. But just stay in shape and get ready because
they didn't know you were running back.
How did they overlook that?
You're like, I'm the all-time leading rusher at Brigham Young, man.
No, the second day I get there, that happens, and I'm like, all right, I'm out of this place because I sit there and tell them like, hey, can I run some running back plays? And they're like, no, play fullback. So the scout team, I'm like, I'm gonna take the scout team. I'm gonna punk the rookie and let me take the scout team. So I go and the first play I get, it was a random zone play up the middle, shook a linebacker, ran it for like 30 yards, 40 yards. Come back, and my running back coach was like, I didn't know you played running back. So I'm like, wait, what?
What do you mean?
Not have the internet?
Yeah, so I was like,
I'm a running back.
This is rough. So from the get-go, I was like, this is going to be rough for me. I don't know if this is the team that I'm supposed to be on. But I appreciate them for the opportunity. And Gus Bradley is one of the coolest head coaches I've ever met. If I were ever to go into a program and become a head coach or a coach or anything like that, I'd emulate everything that Gus Bradley does. He guy's an awesome dude.
Yeah, here's what I would have said if I was you in that situation. Oh, it's fine. You're the Jaguars. Like, I'm actually looking for the Patriots or the Seahawks or the Niners, so I'm good.
No, I love those guys.
I'm just kidding.
They're young. They're very young,
Yeah.
which was, made it unique and different. And the GM, I think, he kind of has the guys that he wanted and made up his mind from the get-go. But, it is what it is. It's a learning curve, stepping stone, whatever you want to call it. But it was fun. I had a good time there.
Harvey, you've set the example now for the BYU women's volleyball team.
Oh, look.
Who is behind
They
us
are
now
here.
in the BYU store? It's game day for the Cougars,
We've got
number
an
10 versus number
All-American
5.
in the house, Alexa Gray. Alexa Gray in the house.
Yes.
The greatest Canadian BYU women's volleyball player ever. Is that right? Something like that. I do want to follow up with this. Jaguars versus Lions.
Yeah.
So there's a game, and did Kyle sit that one out, but Ziggy played?
Yeah. Ziggy played, I think, 3-5 snaps. He told me he wasn't going to. So.
But you're on the other side with those guys. What's that pregame, postgame conversation?
Oh, it was fun. So I spoke to Ziggy first, and he came, was just asking how things were going and whatnot, and then kind of told me his situation and was like, yeah, I'll probably be in for 5 plays. So I was like, oh, well, must be nice. and then Kyle came after, and usually guys are in their uniforms, getting ready, warmed up, and Kyle was in his shorts and shirt, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sitting out. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I'm going to be done for a little bit. So it kind of broke my heart to see that. Obviously, wanted to see him play, wanted to see him succeed and kill it. But I told him, I was like, it's a long season. You got a lot of time ahead of you, so get healthy. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, and things are going to be great for you. So it was fun to see them. It's always great to see former Cougars doing their thing, and especially, the young guys like that doing their thing.
It is a long season, and I want to ask you this, Harvey. Because there are so many injuries and it's such a physical game, do you kind of just hang out, stay conditioned, keep busy, and hope? Are you still hoping that another call comes?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm. As sad as it sounds, I'm waiting for the next guy to get hurt. Fortunately, I've had a couple calls in the last couple days.
Okay.
My agent has been speaking with different teams, and so I'm kind of just waiting for something to happen. I definitely feel like I can still play and want to keep playing until the wheels fall off. So that's what I plan on doing.
That reminds me, I heard a bishop who works in like disaster cleanup say, "Man, I can't tell you how many times after I paid the tithing that someone had a fire. There was some disaster that happened to somebody else, and I benefited." So yeah, if someone gets hurt, maybe that happens to them.
Hey,
Isn't that sad but real?
It is sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true.
All-time leading rusher Harvey Unga with us on BYU Sports Nation. When does Jamal Williams break your record?
What does he need? 1477? Something like that?
Yeah.
Do you know the number?
I wish I knew the number. I don't even know my own number. What I rushed
What you
for.
ended up with?
4576?
No,
That's a lot.
3,000 something. Yeah.
Maybe if I
Harvey-
played my last
Yeah,
year,
if
that
Harvey
might
had
Oh, that's true.
If
If
Harvey
you had played
played
your
the
senior
senior
year,
year,
yeah.
No,
I was way off.
Samsonite.
Yeah, wait a minute. I don't know the number. I'll look it up.
I'm gonna say game 10.
This year?
This
Yeah.
year.
Why not?
So he's going like $140 a game
Why
or
not?
something.
So I missed 2.5 games my junior year,
Yeah.
and still broke it somehow that year.
You missed the Oklahoma game.
Yeah, and then I missed the Tulane game. I played one play or two plays. Then I missed the Florida State game. I played the third quarter, and that's it.
Game number 10, so that would be UNLV.
In the
He'll
All
rush
Blacks.
for like 200
home.
yards that game.
There
This
you
sounds
go.
good to me.
I really think
I
he'll
think
do it.
it's
Why
next
not?
year. I think it's next year.
I think he might
But
leave
he'll do
after
it.
this year.
Really?
Why not?
Why not?
He's
If
young.
if he breaks your record, there's a chance because that'd be a lot of
Yeah,
yards.
of course.
Harvey, great to have you with us on set.
Appreciate you guys.
Best of
Glad
luck
to
to
be
you
here.
as you push forward, and we'll be talking to you soon. We'll be hooping
Appreciate
it up
it.
sometime in the
Yeah,
Smithfield House.
let me know.
I love your text.
Let me
Where we playing pickup?
Anybody hooping?
I'm like, I have no idea. But thanks for texting me.
Hey, I'm always down for hoop.
3,455 yards, Harvey. 3,455. That's
All right.
sequential.
3, 4, 5, 5.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Maybe that's
right.
our next countdown is Jamal to
34.
passing your record. And Tyler
That's a
Haas
good idea.
to pass Jimmer's scoring record.
That's the
which
first
will
good
happen this
idea
year.
you've had all week,
Are you
Jeremy.
serious? What the heck, man?